Hey, one moment. I just remembered I need to do something. I'll be right back. Don't worry, I didn't actually leave the room. I'm still right here. Anyway, what's up? Bottom feeders, your overlord has returned. It is me, Omammer. I know I talked about on Twitter doing something the other day, and we probably will do that eventually, but it's not gonna be today. Today I just do not have the what's it called? I'm just not ready to do that today. So, sorry, this is going to be probably a much shorter one than we're used to. If you can't tell, I'm feeling a bit low energy right now. What We'll be back with a better art stream, hopefully not next Tuesday, obviously, because I'm recording podcast next week. But we've got, where is it? I think one alert left to do. So we're going to get that out of the way. And then once we get that alert taken care of, we can move on to bigger and better things in the future. Um, but yeah, if you missed the announcement and have no idea what I'm talking about, basically a couple days ago, I got this idea to just like go through like a basically, oh, let's learn VTube Studio, and while we're doing that, make the most cursed VTube model ever. And so again, I'm still planning to do that. I still think that would make a pretty good stream, but actually, it would have to be a series because I do not think we'd be like even just the character design. It's probably gonna be more than one stream at the rate that I work, but I'm not ready to do that tonight. I don't think. Also, I've got some other stuff to worry about. I'm sorry. Long story short, I have started doing like freelance web design um recently. And by recently, I mean back in June. And I've I kind of screwed myself over on this initial project that I took. The client promised. The client said that they wanted a quick turnaround on this, that they wanted a website that would be done within like 3 weeks. And so I did not put in any kind of like it's my first project in a very long time. And like based on what they were describing that they wanted done, I thought, okay, you want this done really fast. I can do that with my current skill set. You want it done using the framework of the existing website. Again, no problem with my current skill set. Um, because it's just a WordPress site, and I know WordPress pretty well. But what has ended up happening is that they have dragged their feet at every step. And every time they drag their feet, it ends up creating extra work for me. And so, because I did not put any kind of like stipulations into the contract, because I actually believed the client when they said that they wanted the job done fast, and that it was going to be a simple project. Never believe a client when they say they want that they're going to have a simple project for you. By the way, but but yeah, I made the mistake of believing that they were gonna that because they wanted it done quickly, they had all their shit together, which they don't, and that they actually knew what they wanted, which again they didn't. So I am 2 months later. I'm not getting paid any extra, but I'm still working on this stupid project. So anyway, we need to what do we still have to do? I was just looking earlier and there was something I saw that we still had to do. So we got follows, we've got new subscriber, resub, and we're just using the Omammer cake for those until I come up with something better or can afford to hire a real artist to make me something. But we got the raid. I'm not doing channel point redeems, so I can just kind of delete this. Like we might have channel point redeem stuff, but like that'll be handled by sound alerts or the thing that's going to make the redeem relevant. Slapping me in the face with 3D objects once I get tits set up. Oh yeah, that reminds me, we're gonna have to make stuff for the Twitch integrated throwing system. That'll be fun. But I need to reset Blender because I accidentally set something wrong in Blender on this computer, and now I can't figure out how to unset it. So I'm gonna have to do that. Now, Helldivers has a new patch, by the way. I just noticed that because it's wanting to update on my computer. I didn't hear anything about a major thing, so it's probably just something minor that I didn't install a few days ago or something, but I did install the big patch from the month, right? Yeah, I did. So it's probably just like a minor bug fix. Anyway. And then Throne. Anyway, so Throne's one that we're gonna have to do. Stream elements I'm not worried about. What was the other thing that I saw that I was missing? Oh yeah, gifted subscription. So, we've got a subscription thing with the cake, but like I've got this. Again, this is going to be a fairly short stream probably, but I've got this kind of, where is it, for the cheer? This kind of grow and pop up thing. So what I think I'm going to do is take this animation and have it play. Maybe not looking down. But like the kind of growing up thing. We're going to have something like that. I'm not really happy with this one, so probably not this literally, but we might come back and redo that at some point. But so we've got subscribe, resubscribe. But for the gifts, basically, I want something like the present to come down and then I pop out of it. So this I figure will be fairly straightforward. What the heck is going on here? Let's shrink this back down so I have a workspace. And then just for starters, I'm just going to look up present clip art because that'll get us kind of a starting idea of what we're looking for here. Kind of what I want is one that's more face or head on like these. I don't know, maybe some 3D-ness, maybe a little more 3D-ness to it. Something like this. Actually, something kind of along these lines that has the box lid that pops off, that looks like it would pop right off. Yeah, I know I've been signed out. I don't use Pinterest. I hate Pinterest. Anyway, something along those lines. But for starters, let's just make a couple of boxes. Bit like that, and then first off, let's the software doesn't really have like a good censoring thing, does it? I guess I got to use the grid. I guess I could turn the music back on because I'm probably not going to be talking this whole time. Probably should add the source back to the scene. And let's turn this down a bit so you can hear me over it. About like that. Maybe a little louder. That's not too bad. And let's make sure all these points line up. With the grid. What the heck was that? Okay, that's good. Finally at this point here. And I think we're even across the board now. That point looks good. About like that, probably. Now that we got our box shape, I'm actually gonna make these separate layers for animation purposes. And let's go back to the box, because I'm going to turn the grid back on because there's something else I want to add here. Nope. There we go. So it's centered. No, we're off by one. No? Oh, I see. Better. I think maybe it would look better if we brought these in. I don't want this line to be too thick. Then we kind of want to put one in the exact same position on the lid. About like that. And then, let's see. All right. Where's the... There you are. That's all I needed. And let's make this body part here. Let's grab my body's yellow. I'm not actually sure how this is gonna look, but oh yeah, I forgot to copy the color. Let's turn off the grid. Well, let's see. I don't know. Okay, I think... Nope, that's too much. We just expand it by a little bit, though. Yeah, that looks better. Shape-wise, I'm not happy with the color, I don't think. Let's, So we got to keep this purple. Well, Maybe the body should be the purple. What happens if we make you... That's better. The thing that's really going to bring it together, I think, is making the bow. Nah. I don't think we can shortcut that. I think I'm gonna have to make that in another software. And that's disappointing. I was kind of hoping I could get away with not doing that. But I hate the join tools on this program, so... Is there any shot that I can... No, I don't think so. We can do it this way, it's fine. No one has to know. Let's go back to the... I want something simple, kind of along these lines, I think. So for starters, let's how big is your stroke again? 4 pixels. Yeah, that's about right. I'll block that layer so I don't keep running into it. I'm honestly not sure the hole helps with this part. But it'll probably help with this. Okay. This is the only part that we need right here is these. Hmm. That's pretty good. Okay. So what I'm thinking now that we have our box is that this is going to kind of fall into frame, right? You know, the kind of deal where we have the box like go boom, land on screen, then we take the lid, have it go boom, and I pop out. And we're gonna add some squash and stretch to it to make it look like good. So as per usual, we're gonna start with stuff at like here to begin with. Then we're gonna come here. Okay, I just realized I forgot to do something. Well, forgot's a strong word, but it's gonna make it look better if we do this. Is I need to add some points to this outer box here and to the ribbon in order to. So if we have a point here, here, and then kind of similarly place points on that ribbon. This I can kind of just manipulate the lid. You'll see what I mean, I think. But if I want this to like have the squash and stretch effect that I want when it lands, then I need to have it so that those points can like come outward and it look like good. So let's advance to frame 1. We'll have our box start up here. And I'm just going to do layer for this one because I think layer will look fine. Have you reach your endpoint. Then I'm going to come back like to the halfway point, I suppose, and so what we're going to have is so we'll kind of see it shrink on the way in, and then it'll land. Obviously, I'm going to need to speed all of this up. Oops. have all these programs that have very similar hotkeys, but they're not exactly the same, and so every time you switch between them, you got to remember how to do something just a little differently. Kind of annoying, but what are you going to do, right? Meticulously go through every single program to make sure that they have the exact same settings. Who has the time for that? So now's the point where we're gonna let me. How do I move the? There should be like a way to move the origin point. Maybe I can't do it because I'm manipulating two objects at once. No. There we go. For some reason it didn't work in layer mode. But if we have the squash to like here, obviously I need to come in and make sure that it's not doing this the whole time. This might be too far down. Alright, so I am. Hopefully, you can kind of see what's happening. We've got the box kind of squooshed on the way in, expands back to normal size when it starts to land, squashes down, and then when we hit the 2-second mark, it stretches back up. And at this point, we need to go back to manipulating our lid. Actually, let's go here and make sure that you remain with the box for now. need to... Oh, yeah. No, but it's still kind of slow. Let's try shrinking it to 36 frames, so a second and a half. So this part right here, I think, is playing a bit too long. So you start at frame 29. Alright, I think the squash part is playing too long, maybe. That part was fine. This part needs to play back faster. There we go. That looks... It's taking too long to fall. Okay, let's make this end at frame 36 for now. Okay, that's pretty good, actually. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Alright, so what comes next? Okay, I kind of wonder if we should perspective warp this. Or I guess we can't. That can only be done to an individual layer, maybe. Maybe not. Okay. Oh, never mind then. Or I don't know. It'll look good. Let's do it. Oops. Such a small thing, but it kind of, I think, sells it a bit. That's pretty good. So at the point now where this comes up, we need to have me come out of the box. At the point where the lid flies off. So first off, let's go back to frame 1, I guess. Need to come over here to the boy, Control C, Control V, or I guess what is it? Import layer is what it's called. Imports. Where's the import button? Import Moho object. There he is. There's the boy. And we of course want him to be behind everything else. Let's go ahead and scale you down so people would actually believe you'd fit in that box. Also, I'm going to put these two in a group together so that I can do a masking layer. Am I doing this wrong? Okay, I don't think this is gonna work because that's a whole, like, skeleton group inside of here. Also, is this thing ever actually in the box? I don't think it was. So we're just gonna have to not you. Forget about the group layer. Fits just inside there. Inside and behind. So we need to start with so let's start at frame 1 here, come in, turn off visibility, come here to just frame before the lid comes off, turn the visibility back on. Now let's come ahead a few frames as the box reaches outside the space. Let's bring our boy all the way up. And then we're gonna have him do the moves. Gotta remember to animate everything, otherwise it's just gonna... And let's animate your scale at this frame so that we can do kind of a similar, like... Also, I think we should be sticking out a bit more. More like that. Take up a little more space on screen, you know? I am what you're here to see after all, right? Anyway. I'm missing a page, one moment. I accidentally closed my stream manager at some point, I guess. Anyway, so obviously he's not rigged to move the tentacles like my face is, because this is a very simple rig for Anime Studio, although I might have to come back and make it more complex over time. At this point, let's go ahead and key. Come forward. Okay, that's too fast. So let's go ahead and change the end frame to, I don't know, 72. Wait, is this like an automatic animate on 2's effect? Huh. What do you know? Looks like ass without interval, or without motion blur, but... What do you know? The more you know, guys. Oops. It's weird that that happens. Kind of concerning, actually. Something's wrong with the rig, if that's happening. Kind of feel like that's being played a little too slow. Oh, I know what it is. It's not about the speed, it's... Okay, one moment. I'm gonna delete all these. So 30. It's a slight delay before it switches. So this is 33, 42, so 45. So from 30 to 42 is 12 frames. So from 42, 54. Then 54 plus 12 is 66. So let's do 120. Because I think this is going to play on screen for about 120 seconds anyway, so... Or 5 seconds. It's 120 frames. I wonder if maybe I shouldn't go all the way down. Just because it just doesn't look as good, because with this one, just because of how it's rigged, you don't have a full body warp. Probably before I start like working with this for more like in-depth things, I'm gonna have to go through and because right now I'm doing this with vector, but I think for prime time, for the big important stuff, I'm going to have to I'm either gonna have to like go through and tediously map out the placement of these inner lines, or what I can do is I can also rig and animate image files on mesh, or like on Bones by using a mesh warp. I'll show you what I mean one of these days. So 66 plus 12 is 78. And I know technically this is the end, but we want it to continue a little bit, so we're going to actually paste it one more time so that it doesn't stop prematurely. So 114 plus 12 is 126. Another thing I could do is, like, eventually we're gonna probably clean up some things on this character rig in Live 2D. I might even just, like, use this character. The simplified look I kind of like it. But I also really like the extra detail on this model here. You know? But for now, let's go ahead and you know, one more thing I want to do before I want to size all of this stuff up a bit, I think. Actually, this might be fine. We'll see. Go ahead and export animate. Actually, one more thing. Let's come into each of these, turn motion blur on, turn off subframe. I think that's the bad one. If I'm wrong, we'll just redo it. Nope, okay. We've got to turn this down. Let's do like... Same thing with all these. Let's try this again. No, I think I want the subframe on. I think I forgot to change the settings last time anyway, so. Yeah, that definitely looks better. I don't have the stuff on this computer yet, so we can't... Before I can call this project, like, completely done, I'm gonna have to go through, I've got a big library of royalty-free sounds that I own, so we're gonna have to go through those and look for some good alert noises for everything. But not that there's really anything wrong with the default Twitch ones, but like, we could do better. We can do unique, at least. Maybe not 1,000,000% unique, because like they are stock sounds, but like they're different stock sounds than what Twitch supplies and what Stream Elements or Streamlabs would supply, so I don't know, still pretty unique. But yeah, I think what I'm gonna do for, if I want to do anything like cool or complex with this character, which I do at some point, I'm going to have to like make just take my base model, bring it in here, or the individual pieces of it as image files, and rig those for animation. Like as a mesh deformer, exactly like how Live 2D would do it. So anyway, Here we go. How big is this file anyway? 3 megabytes. It's on the bigger end, but it is 5 seconds of animation, so like, you know. Okay, so we're having the issue with, like, that we've had before, where, like, the motion blur effects didn't get made transparent. So what we're gonna have to do is come into the project settings, make the background color the same as the thing that's got the most blur. Unless there's some way I can, like... I don't think so. Let's export with previous settings. See if we can't make this look a little better at the end result. Kind of crazy how the part that takes the most work out of this whole thing is the part that plays for the least amount of time. Because just animating the actual guy back and forth, the mini-me, that part is fairly simple, because we rigged that weeks ago. So anyway, like I said, this probably not going to be a long stream, but that's okay. Probably starting next time, something I swore I was going to do when I started streaming again was start making 3D models again, because I've not done 3D modeling in like years, so I need to get back into that. And to do that, I need to get back into Blender, right? So I'm going to, I don't know, something that I've been saying that I've needed to do ever since I started How to Make a Literal Cat in Your Favorite RPG is make 3D printable STL files of like some of our better characters. So, like, our Lancer Cat, we need to make that. We need to make the mech from our Lancer Cat, right? We need to make, Peter the Kaiju Reader, probably. I'd actually have to design the cat gun for that. Lady Diabolique Eclipse the Fifth. She was a pretty popular character, so we'll probably have to make the hat that swings the sword. Yeah, I know, you're not gonna work. It's okay. Oh, this is actually smaller without that. Probably one less color to render. Alright, this is actually a 12 frame per second animation at this point, so original, preserve transparency, convert to GIF. Alright, and here's our end result. That's pretty good. Put this away in its home, and then we can come over here and let's go into visuals and sound and upload this bad boy. Looks kind of blurry, but I don't know. I think it works. It's gonna look fine when we... Here, I'll just send a quick test alert so you see what I mean. You can barely even tell. All right. And that is actually it. So, thank you everyone for tuning in for this one. Actually, wait, what am I doing? Boom. We're back in the room. So yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in for this one. Do we actually have anyone in chat? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. It's okay. Not everyone needs to stick around to the end, you know. We still had a good time. Even though it was short, it's good. I really need to start planning out stuff to do for like a just chatting segment. I think if I did just chatting at the beginning of every stream, it would probably go a little smoother. Even on the game streams, we're going for 4 hours straight. But that's okay. We will worry about that, you know, burn that bridge when we come to it. We just close out of stuff that I'm not using anymore. And with that out of the way, yeah, I think that's going to be it for the week. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next time. Where's my end screen? There's my end screen.